It's not out. I'm actually playing the demo right now. Okay, so yeah, I guess getting into it. Basically, the basics of Senko are you have two main weapons. You have your main shot, which in this case is just like, for Mika, it's like just lasers. When you're dashing, because you can dash around, you can dash whatever direction you want. When you're dashing, if you hit main, you'll actually do a dashing shot. And you have your sub-weapon, which is, in Mika's case, it's missiles. And once again, when you're dashing, you can also do it. In this case, I couldn't do it because I didn't have ammo. There we go. Things depend on also when you're barriering, which is basically you're blocking in this game. You can, when you do your main shot, it's precise. It's like you have more control over it. It's based on what direction you're pushing the stick. And also, I guess I'm not actually sure how missiles work. Right. I completely forgot about that. So the difference with missiles when you're shielding is they actually go the direction you point, but when you release the shield, then they home. So it's all built around like mix-ups. Now you have another attack button, which is basically your special input button. For Mika, it launches this little like angel wing thing, which can be used for setups. But the trick is in Senko, usually every character has 3 like EX moves, so you do a special input. So if I do 360 circle, I'll actually release my wings, and I can use them as like a mobile platform, which I have half control over. It'll move whatever way I'm basically pushing the stick. So yeah. Another big part of this game is there's also melee, which of course might not be obvious at a glance. But so like your inner ring is actually your melee range. So if I get close to Champo here, she's outside my inner ring right now, so I'll just shoot. But once she's inside this inner ring, I'm in melee range. So when I hit main, I'll actually go in and I can do a melee combo. If I'm in close and I actually hit my sub-weapon, I'll actually do a different melee combo where I actually throw my baton and then shoot it in kind of a strange fashion. Melee is really important because, as you can tell, it's actually a little bit hard to tell on the screen, but Champo is actually a little bit more melee driven, so she actually has a bigger circle around her for melee. So like for her, she actually wants to set you up and go into melee. There's like a lot going on. It's a deep game. It has some depth to it, which is nice. Let me see what else is there. Now, compared to the first game, they actually have a new move in this game called Slash, which you can do, which is actually a melee attack, but you can actually do it anywhere. It's not dependent on being close to your opponent. There's the trick with Slash is, okay, so the thing with Slash is Slash will actually cut enemy bullets. When you're doing Slash, you cannot be hit by enemy bullets, which is a nice addition. But what's interesting about it is there's a lot of cooldown on it, which means that you're vulnerable to shots after doing Slash. Oh god, the achievements in the original are ridiculous. But yeah, so anyways, Slash. Everybody has a Slash, everybody's Slash does roughly the same thing. You can use it as a melee attack, you can actually dash with it to do like a dashing Slash and slam into them, which is pretty fun. But yeah, so it's a new move that isn't in the original duo. It's, yeah, it's really handy actually. It's kind of something that I think is actually important mechanically that they added into this game. It was missing a little bit in Rev. You needed kind of a melee option, I think, outside of your defined melee range. Actually, going back into melee talk, one of the big things with this game too is you have like soft melee combos. Usually it's 3 inputs, so I can do like square, triangle, or I can do, well, it's gonna actually kill Champo in this. Bam! So, one of the things about melee in this game is melee can actually be blocked with your barrier. That was also something missing in the original Senko, which was a little bit of a loophole, a little bit abusive in a lot of ways. In this game, you can block melee attacks with your shield, which is helpful. Now, I imagine people are like thinking, okay, why wouldn't you use your shield like constantly in this game? So when you absorb damage with your shield, you lose green bar, which is basically your special meter. You need your special meter for a lot of things, for supers, for EX moves like this. You need green bar. You build green bar just by doing damage, and you gain it a little bit, I think, over time. There we go, there's another EX move. I actually forget Mika's other one. I think Mika has one more, but it's like half input? No. Okay, I just remember the spray and releasing the wings. What else is there? Okay, there is assists in this game. That's also new to this game. It was in Duo, it wasn't in the original. You get to pick your assist at the character selection screen. It has a cooldown on it. It's like literally the whole match to cooldown, so you'll only really get one a match. What else is there? Okay, boss mode. I should talk about that. So that green bar at the very top, you can see it's filling very slowly actually, but when I do some damage, I'm sure I'll get some. Actually, well, we'll just finish it off. So boss mode, you get 2 stocks. You can see them in the corners here. When you enter boss mode, you typically want to enter boss mode ideally with a full green bar. So I'm at full charge now, so when I enter boss mode, my green bar is now basically a timer that basically I can stay in this mode for as long as I have timer, basically. Boss mode, as you can tell, is very strong. In the right hands, it's very, very strong. You can die to it very quickly. Like I said, there's mostly 2 different types of boss modes. There's ones that are mobile and there's ones that are stationary. Forward, back barrage. No. I didn't need her. Overheated. What else is there? I guess also with your melee combos, if you do main weapon combos, you do physical damage, but if you do sub-weapon combos, you'll do meter damage instead for the most part. And you'll usually gain more meter off sub-combos, so sometimes something to think about. Overall, I think that's pretty much most of the basics. You'll notice what I'll do a lot is I will do short dashes in this game. You can do what's called vectoring, which is typically if you just hit dash, you have this long floaty dash, and that's kind of making you a target. So what you want to do in this game is you actually want to dash and then hit your shield button, and what you're doing is you're using it like air brakes. So it gives you your quick movements. You just don't see me going into shield because I'm releasing it really quickly. So this is basically how you get around in this game for the most part. Some moves can be shield cancelled. It varies. I know like dashing moves, I don't get the timing for it anymore, but you used to be able to cancel them in the original, so yep. But yeah, that's pretty much everything as far as stuff goes. I don't think there's a whole lot else to talk about. Where's my exit? Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button. There we go. A lot else to talk about. I'm probably just gonna play some arcade matches. I think in the demo, if I connected a second controller, it would bring up 2-player mode. The demo does give you offline versus for 2 people. You have 4 selectable characters.